What's up?
Hey,
How's it going?
I good. We're in different locations. You're in the office.
I'm actually in the real, honest to goodness office.
What's it feel like being back?
Weird.
Yeah,
I'm not really back. More stopped in.
just popped by.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
in the neighborhood and need to get to a computer fast.
yeah.
There's one
Um,
laptop sitting here in the office.
Good. I've got my plant still
Your
here.
hollow trash plant.
I am redoing my office downstairs, so it's a
Sure,
mess.
you told me.
Yeah,
Um, I took our office plant, our mascot out. Did I tell you that?
I came by the office the other day
Oh yeah,
because I had to sign some papers, so I
right.
came by and signed at the office. And I saw it. I appreciate that,
Yeah, she's gone.
and I like our awards up top.
You like that Best of Zillow award, buddy?
I do.
All right.
You got your socks. I saw them.
Yeah, my socks. Their socks are gonna stay here. I really came by the office because I'm almost out of alcohol in my house.
Sure.
So
We do have a good stash.
we have a copious amount. I'm going to steal a bottle or seven.
Hey,
All right,
okay.
what
We need
topic
to
to talk about today?
Today, it's going to lead into what we're doing tomorrow, which we'll tease now and we'll do at the end. But today,
Yes.
the importance of a home buying consultation
Right.
with a new buyer, new prospective buyer.
That is true. And I think this is something that you and I think it's fairly unique that you and I do. So we basically try to, as much as possible without, deviating, we try every single buyer that is new to us, not a repeat buyer, obviously not investors, but an honest to goodness new first time buyer. We try to sit them down before we see houses and, in neutral territory over coffee, whatever, and just get them talking, you
Yeah.
know, try to understand what it is they're looking for. But at the same time, it's mostly an education process, right?
Right.
'Cause, we found over the years that a lot of real estate is just managing expectations and educating the client. And if we can do that at the beginning, deals tend to go a lot smoother.
Yeah. I think that's a great way to put it. Setting expectations and detailing exactly what the typical process looks like. Something comes up in every deal anyway, which
Right.
maybe changes a little bit, but there's a typical structure to every deal for the most part. So laying that out up front and really getting the buyer to understand what this is going to look like because it's hectic. I mean, to them, especially if they're a first time home buyer, this is exciting and scary and it's a lot of money and all that stuff. So having everything in line really puts them at ease, I've found. And also a lot of times if we don't know you first, you're coming to us through a third party,
Right. Yeah.
what like a Zillow or Trulia or something like that. So just sitting down, we buy you a cup of coffee or whatever, and meeting face to face puts a real human behind that, like click for your agent on Zillow link.
I mean, and it goes both ways. I mean, for us too, we like to know who,
Sure.
we'd rather not show houses to pure strangers. We like to, have a little background as well.
Yeah.
So like when we do sit down, like, you obviously do this more than I do with buyers, but, you know, to like, what are some, I mean, we try to be very organized. We use like little handy little books and timelines and things like that, which sounds kind of corny, but they come in handy.
Right.
Um, like what are some of the things like, if a buyer's going to sit down with us, what are some of the things that you would go over?
Yeah. So really the first thing that I like to do, and this is unique to everybody, but what I like to do is find out what their motivation is.
Mhm.
Do they have to buy? Is their lease expiring?
Mhm.
Are they expecting a baby? Like, what's their motivation for moving? Because that then leads us towards, okay, here's what our timeline is going to look like. If they don't have to buy, then the timeline is really dictated by them.
Right.
If they have to buy because they're due in 60 days, then we
Right.
tell them, okay, 45-day escrow, we have to have a contract in by X in order to be in the house by the time the new baby comes. So it's really case specific. But I usually start with what's your motivation?
Gotcha.
And then I go into timeline, sort of work backwards from when they want to move.
Right.
But the first real piece of business that we talk about is getting a pre-approval, why that's important, because you don't know how much
Right.
house you can afford unless a lender tells you how much house you can afford. And then from there, like you showed that little book that we have.
Right.
Sometimes we'll use it on our computer if it's just easier.
All the time. Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll go through, the standard timeline, getting pre-approved to looking at houses, writing a contract, doing the home inspection, the entire thing, all the way up until, hey, we hand you the keys, congratulations, you're a homeowner.
Right.
So that's a lot of like question and answer. And then I always like to leave time for like, what do you want to know about me? Like, what
Yeah.
do you have any questions of me or about me? Like what, because you're going to be spending a lot of time with your agent. So if you don't like the person, it's going to be a really long process.
Man, that's always my biggest part when I'm doing these consultations, whether on the sell side or the buy side, is just making sure I leave time for questions. Because
Yeah.
I mean, for most people, a lot of people, this is their first time going through one side or the other. Um, we should expect our clients to have a million and one questions, and it's okay. And we're going to answer them now. We're going to answer them again. But giving them the space to, I think our presentation answers 80% of their questions, but then giving them the space to have a bunch of
Yeah.
that pertain exactly to their situation. Yeah, I always make sure I leave time for that.
Yeah. That's a good point. And I always try to reach out, the night before
Hmm.
and just say, hey, make sure like if you have any questions, make sure you bring them for tomorrow. That way it gives them a chance to think about it. So I'm not just putting somebody on the spot.
Right.
Um, but the key really is to do that consultation rather than just diving headfirst into the process, because then you don't really know what you're looking for. And agents will do, like, some agents will just, you'll get a lead on Zillow, you go see the first house, and hey, we're working together.
Right.
And that's fine, but we really like to take more of an educational approach because this is such a huge process.
Right.
So we want our buyers to be more educated than other people,
I think
which is,
a buyer is much easier to work with.
yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah,
So that's why it's really important to do any sort of consultation,
I think so. Yeah.
which leads us into what we're doing tomorrow
Right.
with the help of one of our lenders, Primary Residential.
Which
Um,
I think
hmm?
you just walked in. Yeah, he did. Jenkins just walked in the office.
Oh, good. Hopefully he's working on the presentation for tomorrow. Um,
Let's wrap this up before he interrupts me.
yeah, cool. So tomorrow, and we're going to post this on all of our socials, and it's going to be live on Facebook too. And we'll post a link to that. But we're going to do a first-time homebuyer seminar online.
Online. Yeah.
Social distancing.
Yeah.
So Quincy, myself, and Mike Jenkins from Primary will be there tomorrow. We'll post a link to that, so you can watch the recorded video once we're done.
Yep. Sounds good.
And then if you have any questions,
What time is that tomorrow? 11.
11 o'clock.
Cool.
Yep. We'll post a link after that, and that's it. Get a
Oh.
consultation. Don't do this blindly.
Basically like an interview. So.
Yeah. Don't be dumb.
Dumb. All right. Well, I'm going to get interrupted in 10 seconds. So.
Cool.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
See ya.
See ya.